welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning, budgeting, paying off debt, and my very exciting journey from full-time teacher to full-time Etsy shop owner and YouTuber. So if that is something that you think you would like to see, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along on this journey. Today I'm going to share with you my family budget check-in for the first week of February. Now, I'm just going to give you a heads up. We went over on our grocery budget for the second week in a row, but I sat down this morning for a few hours and I came up with a plan, and I'm very excited about it. So I hope you'll stick around and see how we're going to handle this situation. Okay friends, in today's video I am using this Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. I am also using this notebook from Plum Paper. I do have links to both of these websites in the description box below. Okay, so starting with the expense trackers, the way I use her expense trackers is I do one expense tracker per week, and then I do a key at the bottom of the expense tracker where I put the total of each budget category. That way, when I go to close out the month at the end of the month, I have all of this information already calculated for me. Okay, so let's look at where our money went this first week of February, starting with bills. So we had Time for Learning, which is Logan's homeschool program. We paid $20 a month for that. And this is actually the last month that we're paying that because I've decided to change up with what I'm doing with him for homeschool. So this is the last month that we'll be paying that. Okay, State Farm. We paid $134 on the first, which was, I think, $2 above budget, but we'll take a closer look at that when we head over to the spreadsheet. Okay, then we had Aspen. Aspen is our garbage company, and we actually pay them once every 3 months, but every month I set aside $40 so that when we hit that third month, we have the money available to pay them, and it's not like a one big hit every 3 months. Okay, and then we had HBO for $16. We recently got rid of Disney Plus because we just weren't using it, and we switched over to HBO. David did that for me so that I could watch the new Sex and the City series, and just like that. I had to think about what it was called. But I'm just loving having it. I started watching a couple other series, and I'm drawing a blank on the names right now, but like new series, but I also have Friends playing in the background as I'm doing my work for Etsy, and I just love it. It makes me so happy. I mean, Friends came out like when I was in my early 20s, and I watched live shows of it, but I never saw it like from beginning to end in the order you're supposed to watch it in. So I'm having so much fun doing that. Okay, let's talk about debt. So I had 2 debt payments this week. First one was mortgage, which was $13.17. And then I did make a bonus with Etsy, and we're going to talk about that more when I head over to the spreadsheet. So I'm using $500 from that bonus to pay off credit card debt. So we made an extra debt payment to Capital One for $500 this week. By the way, I think I forgot to mention that these stickers come from Cara Jo Plans. I am a PR friend for her, so I have a link in the description box below as well as a discount code for you guys. Okay, so food. This is where we are struggling budget-wise. Our budget is $150 a week, and this is the second week in a row that we were like way above budget. So I'm going to go in more detail about my plan for this a little bit later. So stick around for that. So we spent $264 on food. Okay, gas. We spent $20 on gas. Well, actually, we didn't spend $20 on gas, but we've set aside $20 for gas. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to be handling that going forward with my envelopes. We're going to go to the envelopes in just a minute. Okay, miscellaneous. So we had set aside $20 in our miscellaneous envelope. I ended up spending $106 this week. It was all on the new curriculum that I'm going to be doing with Logan for homeschool, and we are going to actually be paying this back right away today, so I'll show you how we're going to do that. So yeah, there's a lot for you to stick around to see. Okay, spending money. We had $45 for spending money this week. That was 20 for me, 20 for David, 5 for Logan. Then sinking funds, we were able to do our sinking funds this week for $105. And savings challenge, we ended up putting aside $30 for the savings challenge this week. Okay, so let's head over to the spreadsheet and see what we budgeted versus what we actually spent and how we're going to handle everything. Okay, so let's start with the rollover. We did roll over $350. So David's payday was actually more than $18.92. He recently got a raise because of the new year, so he is now bringing home $19.08. As far as Etsy goes, I did get my $370. This is what I'm doing now, is I'm giving myself a salary of $370 a week. And at the end of the month, after we take out all of the business expenses and taxes, anything that's left over, I can then decide how much of it I want to leave in the account to cover future business expenses and how much I want to give myself as a bonus. So this week, or this month, let's go back and look. It's a little messy, but the amount that I had to work with when I calculated everything was $966. So that's how much we had after we took care of all of our obligations, including Jacob's take-home pay and my take-home pay. So I decided to leave $466 in the business budget account to cover future expenses, and I'm giving myself a $500 bonus today, which is actually going straight to paying off debt. So let's take a look at that. So we have the $500 from the bonus. Oh, and then cash envelopes. So going back to the miscellaneous of $106, I'm actually going to deposit money for my cash envelopes in here to cover that amount. So let's go to that right now. So first of all of my purchases were made online. So I need to put the $20 for miscellaneous back here. This is what I do. Anytime I need to deposit money into the bank, I put it back here. And then when I go to the bank to do my weekly withdrawal, I deposit anything that needs to be deposited. Okay, so I don't need to count that here though, that $20, because I've already counted it down here. Now here is where I'm gonna get money from, my spending envelope. And guys, I don't mind using my spending money on this. It actually makes me really happy to spend my spending money on this. So let's see how much I can put back in the bank. 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. Okay, so we are going to add 81 back into the account. So now we are adding 581. Okay, so I'm going to put that back here. Now so it's not quite enough to cover everything I spent, because was it 106, I think? It was 106 minus the 20 that we already had set aside for miscellaneous, so that's 86, and I put 81. So I'm $5 short, but I'm okay. We'll be okay. Okay, so let's see all together how much income we ended up having to work with this first week of February. $3,209. So my husband, David, he is paid once a month. So this is how much we have, this is our big payment each month. So this is what we use to cover bills. Okay, coming down to our fixed expenses. I have two types of fixed expenses. I have bills and I have debt. So mortgage is a debt, and it was actually $13.17. I think I'm going to write this here because this helps when I come back to look at the end of the month. Time for learning was a bill, and that was in fact $20. State Farm is a bill, and we budgeted $132, but it ended up being $134. Aspen is a bill, and that is $40. HBO is a bill, and that is $16. So the SUV did not come out, so I need to make sure that when I set up next week, week 2, that I include the SUV on there. So hopefully I'll remember to do that. So we didn't spend anything on that this week. I looked it up, and it's supposed to come out on the 5th, which would be Sunday, so I'm assuming it will come out on Monday. Okay, so let's see all together how much we spent on bills this week. $15.27. Just going to double check my math. $15.27. Okay, so $32.09 minus $15.27. That leaves us with $16.82. Okay, so before we go to our variable expenses or our cash envelopes, let's update our chart at the beginning of the notebook, the bill tracker chart, and let's cross off everything that we've paid already. So we paid mortgage, so I can cross that off. We paid time for learning. We paid State Farm and Aspen and HBO. SUV has not come out yet, so we'll cross off the HBO and we'll leave SUV blank. So the chart is all updated. Coming down to our variable expenses. So we're bringing down the $16.82. And for spending money, we did take out $45 for food. We spent more than $150 on food. And let's see where that is at. Here, $264. We ended up spending $264 on food. And when we're done here, I'm going to show you how I'm going to handle that. Okay, so $20 for gas. Miscellaneous, we ended up spending $106. And for the savings challenge, we spent $30. So let's see all together how much we spent for variable expenses. So we have 45, 264, 20, 106, and 30. So that is $465. So 1682 minus 465, that is 1217. Okay, so let's talk about food for just a moment here. So I have decided to make food and gas actually what's called cashless envelopes. So you still track everything closely, but you do it on a card instead of with actual cash. I'm doing that because I've noticed we actually end up using our card quite often for food, and then I just have to deposit that money back into the bank, and it's just one step I can skip. Okay, I'm also doing the card, and I'm using red ink to indicate negative numbers in the total category, so just so I can like see a glaring reminder of you went negative. So this week we deposited $150. We had 2 different grocery trips. One was for $167 and one was for $97. And at the end of the week, we ended with a negative $114. So that's the money part of my new food plan. And then gas, you'll see we deposited $20 last week and we haven't spent it yet. Okay, so let's go to the meal planning. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to the meal plan section of the workbook. In order for me to make productive change in this category, I feel like I need to really understand where I'm starting at. I've gone over budget 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if this is because groceries have gone up or because I am spending more, because I don't have a real clear picture of how much food costs. So I have decided to start where I'm at. This is what I would traditionally like make in a week. This is what I'm planning on making this week. And I'm going to go over this with you in just a second. So what I'm going to do is when we go shopping, we're going shopping later today and then again on Monday because I do two trips a week. one to Sam's to get some basic things that we need that we buy in bulk, and then one trip to another grocery store, either Aldi or Fairway, where we get things that aren't available at Sam's in a smaller quantity. So when I come back, I'm going to use this sheet. I'm going to write down every item I bought and how much it cost. That way I can really know like how much a pound of ground beef costs. So, because I just don't know, I just don't know. So this is what, then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to calculate how much it costs to make each of these meals, and I'm going to write that amount here. So this is me starting where I'm at, and then next week I can make a more informed decision about what to meal plan based on knowing how much things cost. I hope that makes sense. So, okay, so let's take a look at what I'm planning on making this week. So today I'm going to be making a Chipotle bowl. That's just, I have all the ingredients already at home, and I'll probably make it before we go grocery shopping, so that's why I'm doing that one today. I'm also making a recipe that involves chorizo and potatoes, and I have a recipe saved on YouTube. If you see a star in YouTube, it means it's a new recipe, and it's on YouTube for me to refer back to. Making a Philly bowl, which is just a recipe I made up. It's so easy. It's just onion, green pepper, ground beef, and it's served over rice. It's like I add salt and pepper and then serve it over rice. Okay, I call it Philly because of the Philly cheesesteak sandwiches that have the beef, green pepper, and onion, and that's why I called it that. Okay, I'm trying another new recipe. It's called ranch chicken and potatoes, and this is a YouTube recipe. This is actually from the Family Fudge, if you are familiar with her channel, so I'm excited to try that. And then we're having fried rice on Thursday, and pancakes, eggs, and bacon on Friday. Now that we are not spending any money on eating out, this is Logan's favorite meal for me to make, so I'm going to wait till Friday and make that for him on Fridays. Pancakes, eggs, and bacon. And then Saturday we're going to have sausage and potatoes. Okay. So that is the meal plan this week. I'm really anxious to see how much it comes to, each meal comes to. So coming back to this week's budget, we did stuff our sinking funds, and I did make a video where I shared that with you, and it was exactly what we planned. So the total was $105. So we did 5 for birthdays, 10 for car maintenance, 10 for car registration, 15 for Christmas, 5 for memberships, 25 for vacation, 10 for vet, and 25 for David's iPad. So $1,217 minus $105. That gives us $1,112. Okay, bringing that down here to our extra debt. I did not know if I was going to make a bonus this month or not. I didn't know until I got my Etsy check this week. So I did. So we made an extra debt payment to Capital One for $500. So $1,112 minus $500. That leaves us with $612. Okay, let's update my debt payoff chart. The beginning of the binder here. I don't have any medical bills, so I'm using this to track how much we're paying off on Capital One. So when did that happen? That happened on the 3rd. So 2/3, we were able to pay. I don't know what this means. Oh, I think it's how much we paid off. This is how much is remaining, and this is how much we paid off. Okay, so we paid $500 this week. So 3,862 minus 500. That brings us down to 3,362. So 2,138 plus 500 is 2,638. So far, since we started paying this debt off, we started on the December 26th. So wow, that is so cool. Okay, so we started on December 26th, and so far we've been able to pay off 2,638. Holy shamoly! Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, so coming over here to our yearly balance overview, we are going to color in for February, and we get to go up a new square because we have hit that 2,500 mark. We've actually gone, yeah, we're at 2,600, so cool. Okay, so let's do February. Let's do pink. Pink for Valentine's. Okay, so we're going to finish off the week 1 budget, and then we're going to set up week 2. So we have $612, and we're going to roll all of that over into week 2 to help cover expenses. Okay, so I set up my weeks at the beginning of the month, so this is partially already set up for us, but there's a couple of things we need to fill in. For starters, for rollover, we thought we were going to have $599, but we actually had $612. Okay, but my Etsy income might change if I don't make enough to pay myself. Okay, so here are the bills that are coming out, and we need to add the SUV for $118. So let's see how much we're going to need for bills. We have 89 and 52 and 15 and 274 and 118. 548. You know what I just realized? I could just erase this and put the 612 there. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, this is the first time I have planned out the whole month at the beginning of the month, so I'm just trying to figure out how I want to work this. Okay, so coming down here, whew, I think next time I might do something different and not have, so that way I don't have to, next month I might do it a little different, that way I don't have to erase like every week when I come in to make changes. Okay, so 982 minus 548, 434. So I'm bringing that down here. So spending money is 45. Now food, I'm still gonna put 150, but I don't know. We'll see, I have to see how much it actually is to make those things that I said I wanted to make. Gas, we're gonna set aside 20. Miscellaneous, we're going to set aside 50. I have not done the savings challenge yet. So these numbers might change a little bit. Okay, so we set aside 5 for birthdays, 10 for car maintenance, 10 for car registration, 15 for Christmas, 5 for memberships, 25 for vacation, 10 for vet, and 25 for iPad, which comes to 105. So 169 minus 105. That is $64. Which is what we will roll over to help pay for expenses. Because I am messing with the food budget this month, we will go negative, which is okay because I have a cushion in my account, so we won't actually go down to $64. But that cushion actually is from my savings account. I transferred it over so that I had a cushion. So I don't actually want to spend it, so I will want to pay it back after I figure out the food situation. I think the thing I'm most excited about, besides getting to pay $500 towards our debt, was that I have a plan for the food. Like, yes, it's not perfect yet, but because I'm going to be figuring out how much it actually costs to make different dishes, then I'll be able to make a more informed decision when I'm meal planning, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I hope you will come back tomorrow when we stuff our sinking funds and our cash envelopes. See you next time. Bye, everyone.